Dear students, today we are discussing remaining part of the chapter budgeting, estimating cost and risk. First we are discussing work element costing. Work element costing, or what are the elements of cost of a project. First element is indirect cost. The indirect cost includes overhead and personal time. Overhead means all the indirect expenses which are incurred on project activities. Indirect expenses just like buttons in a shirt, laces in a shoe, or nails in furniture. And personal time means the breaks which are given to employees during their work hours. Suppose the work hour of employees are from 5 to 9. So during that, employees are given different breaks just like tea break, lunch breaks. If employees are working during these break times, then organizations give them some additional amount for spending their extra time other than work time. This is called the personal time. So indirect cost is basically consists of the overhead and personal time of the labor. Another element of work element costing is direct cost. Direct cost consists of the direct material and direct labor. Direct costs usually do not include overhead because overheads are a separate element. So direct cost includes direct material and direct labor. Direct material just like wood used in furniture is direct material. Direct labor means labor which is directly involved in producing or manufacturing a product. This is direct labor. So direct cost consists of direct material plus direct labor, not overhead. The third element of costing is journal and administrative. These are the office expenses other than the direct material, direct labor, and other indirect expenses are overheads. So overall work element costing consists of journal and administrative costing, indirect costs and direct costs. The examples of journal and administrative charges or costs can be just like office staff salary or depreciation on office equipments. That's all about work element costing. Further, we are discussing category budgeting versus program activity budgeting. Organizations are used to budgeting by either category or activity. Most of the organizations develop their budget by category, means dividing their total budget into categories or different heads. Or some organizations can divide their budgets according to their activities. The traditional organizational budget is category oriented, often based upon historical data accumulated through a traditional category based system. So most of the organizations traditionally develop their budget by dividing their whole budget into categories. The next slide we will discuss example of category budgeting as well as activity budgeting, which will give you more clear concept about these two budgeting methods. Project organizations usually develop both types of budgeting, category budgeting as well as program or activity budgeting. So expenses within the budget can be classified as materials, personnel, clerical, utilities, direct labor, etc. These are the example of the some of the individual expenses items which can be classified within a budget. These expense lines are gathered into more inclusive categories and are reported by organizational unit, for example, by section, department, and division. So initially these budgets are divided into different categories. Further, the different sections or departments or divisions can further divide that budget into different expenses according to their uh, activities, according to the activities which are performed within their section or department. This is example of typical monthly budget for a real estate project. This is example of category budgeting. Here we have taken example of a real estate project. In the first column you see that revenues are given, and then after revenues, operating expenses of that real estate project are given. The revenues of that company or management fees, that further management fees is further subdivided into different uh, revenue heads, just like partnership reimbursement, property management, partnership reimbursement, owner acquisition, and so on. Further, they have divided their expenditure or operating expenses into three categories: payroll and permanent residence benefits. Permanent residence benefits means the some employees are allowed accommodation or house by their organizations. So such expenses are here given as PR benefits, permanent residence benefit. So subcategories of these payroll and permanent residence benefits can be salaries, payroll taxes, group insurance, and medical reimbursement, workmen's compensation, staff apartments, bonus. Further, second category of operating expenses in our example is travel and entertainment expenses. And the third category is professional fees. So these are the three categories that they have developed in their budget. Now, as we have already discussed, budget is estimation, future planning about the cost to be incurred in future. So here in the first column is actual budget. Then in the second column is the budget, which is the estimated budget. And in the third column is given the variance, and that same variance in the last column is given in shape of percent. So here we can compare through that example of category budgeting, what was the budget, estimated budget, and what is the actual revenue and or actual cost or expenditure incurred. Suppose taking example of revenues, in management fees, the first revenue, partnership reimbursement or property management. So they estimated that during that budget period, they will earn revenue from that management fee said 6,222. But actually they earned more than that. Actually they earned 7,410. Now the variance is 1118. So it means they earned 1188 more than what was estimated. So in percentage, the actual revenue earned is 119% of the estimated budget, because they have earned actually revenue more than what they estimated. So that's why it's 119%. Similarly, if we can look at the expenses, in the first head, payroll and permanent residence benefits, their subcategories salaries. So their estimated salaries, budgeted salaries were 34,583, but actually they have spent salaries of 29,425. So variance or difference in the estimated and actual cost incurred is 5,157.25. So it means they have incurred actually expenses of 29,425 out of the total budget of 34,583. It means they have incurred 85% of the actually 85% of the estimated budget. Similarly, you can see about different heads of travel and internet entertainment expenses and professional fees heads expenses. So that's all about example of category budgeting. Here you can see a project budget by task and month. Here you can see you have a more detailed information about budget about each task which is performed within a project and the estimates amount incurred on each task separately. Further, the period is also given during which that amount will be incurred. Suppose task A, total cost incurred on task A will be 7,000, and in first month out of that 7,000, 5,600 cost will be incurred, and in second month task A cost incurred on task A in second month will be 1,400. So total cost incurred on task A is 7,000, and that task A will be completed during first 2 months of the project. Similarly, task B, C, D estimated budget for each task and the period within which that cost will be incurred is given. So we have just given here task with these letters A, B, C, D. You can take example. Suppose we are planning to construct a building. Suppose task A can be just like cost allocated for the basement base of that building. Then task B can be considered as just construction of ground floor. Then task C can be considered as um, for for utilities, electricity installation, or for sanitation. And task D can be considered just like amount spent on color of building. In that way we can further classify these different tasks. So this is how we can develop a budget by task and month. So it's up to organization, either they develop a category budgeting or either they are follow or program or activity budgeting. That's all about this chapter. Thank you.